So in the previous class we had already discussed about the law of chemical combination, that is law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion, and along with the Dalton's atomic theory. So now we will discuss about atom. What is atom? What are the size of the atom? Symbols of atoms of different elements. So first of all, what we will see, what is an atom. So we have seen building walls. We have observed how a building is made. So from this, first of all, rooms are made. So first of all, walls are made. From these walls, a room is made, and then a collection of rooms forms a building. Similarly, we can say that the ant-hill is built up of small grain of sand. So the building block of ant-hill is a small grain of sand. Similarly, the building blocks of all the matters, these are known as atoms. Atoms are known as the building blocks of all the matters. So building blocks of all the matters, these are known as atoms, and atoms are very small. They are smaller than anything we can imagine or compare. So they are very small. So more than millions of atoms, when they stack, they would make a layer of barely as thick as sheet of the paper. So you can imagine that atoms are very small. Even we can't imagine their size. So their radius is atomic radius, that is measured in nanometers. So atomic radius, it is measured in nanometers, and we can compare with meter as 1 meter equal to 10 to the power 9 nanometers. So atomic radius, that is measured with nanometers. So if we will see some of the sizes, relative sizes of atoms of hydrogen or water or molecule of hemoglobin, then we can see their size, that is very small. That is, you can see as this is given in meter. Here the radius, that is given in meter. So atom of hydrogen, that is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Molecule of water, 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Molecule of hemoglobin, 10 to the power minus 8 meter. Grain of sand, 10 to the power minus 4 meter. Ant, 10 to the power minus 2. And watermelon, 10 to the power minus 1 meter. So these are the relative sizes that is given in your book. So you have to learn these sizes also. So here we can see that atoms are so insignificant, means they are very small in size, or they are so insignificant in size, but till then we should care about them, because our entire world is made up of atoms. Whatever we see in our surrounding, that is made up of atoms. Our entire world is made up of atoms. So we may not be able to see the atoms, but they are there and constantly affecting whatever we do. For example, like air is present all around us. We are not able to see the air, but we are able to feel the air. Similarly, we are not able to see the atoms, but they are there and constantly affecting whatever we do. But nowadays, through modern techniques, we can now produce magnified images of surfaces of elements that are showing atoms. So but still atoms are very small in size. Even we can't compare or we can't imagine the size. So million of atoms, when they stack, they make a layer of a thick sheet of paper. So we can imagine that how smaller are they. So that is why we are not able to see the atoms, but they are there. The whole world is made up of atoms. So Dalton was the first scientist to use the symbols for the elements in a very specific sense. So the Dalton was the first who introduced symbols for the elements, and when he used a symbol for an element, he also meant that a definite quantity of that element, that is one atom of that element. So when Dalton gave the symbol or used the symbol, that was for a definite quantity of the element, that is one atom of the element. So Dalton uses the symbol for definite quantity of element, that is one atom of that element. After that, Berzelius suggested that the symbols of the elements be made from 1 or 2 letters of the name of the element, so that it will be very easy for us to remember. So first of all, Dalton was the first scientist who gave the symbols or used the symbols. He used symbol for an element and also meant that a definite quantity of that element, that is one atom of that element. If we will see the symbols proposed by Dalton for some elements, then you can see as symbols of different types. Different symbols are given for different elements. So these are symbols of some elements proposed by the Dalton, like hydrogen, phosphorus, copper, gold, carbon, sulfur, lead, platina, oxygen, iron, silver and mercury. So these are the symbols given by the Daltons for some elements. After that, next the elements symbols were given by using one or two letters of the name of the element. So in the beginning, the names of the elements were derived from the name of the places where they were found for the first time. If we will take the example of copper, copper was taken from Cyprus. So its names also be taken from specific colors. Some of the names they were taken from specific colors like gold. Gold is taken from the English word meaning yellow. So that is why different things were used, like some we were getting the names from the places from where they were found, and then some we were taking from the specific colors. So nowadays IUPAC, that means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, approves the name of the elements. So many of the symbols are first one or two letters of the elements in English. The first letter of a symbol is always written as capital letter, that means uppercase, and the second letter as small letter, that is lower case. For example, we can give like hydrogen, first letter is taken as the symbol H. Copper, it is taken from the place where it is found, that is Cu, it is symbol is Cu. Cobalt, it is taken two letters, that is C and O. C is in the upper case, that means capital letter, and O is in the lower case, that means small letter. If you will write cobalt as CO, then this one is wrong. We can't write like this one. The first one will be in the upper case and the second one will be in the lower case. Similarly, aluminium AL, first one is in the capital letter or upper case, second one is in the small letter or the lower case. So symbols of some elements are formed from the first letter of the name and a letter appearing later in the name. For example, like chlorine. If we will take chlorine and zinc, then we can see as, for example, you can see chlorine and zinc. So here first letter is taken and this letter is taken, not the second letter. So few of the symbols, elements symbols are formed from the first letter and a letter which is coming next to the any letters or appearing later in the name. For example, like zinc, this one here we are taking the first letter and N we had taken, not I. So some of the symbols are formed like this, the first letter and then the next appearing letter. So these are the symbols of the chlorine and zinc. Other symbols like we are taking from the Latin name or German or Greek name. For example, iron. Iron is its Latin name is ferrum, so its symbol is Fe. Sodium, it is natrium, so it is Na. Potassium, it is kalium, so it's K. So each element has a name and a unique chemical symbol. There are some symbols, some elements whose symbols are obtained from their German or Latin or Greek names. So for iron, its Latin name is ferrum, so symbol is taken as Fe. For sodium, it's natrium, so it is Na. Potassium, its name is kalium, so its symbol is K. So each and every element has a unique chemical symbol and each element has a name. Here you can see in your book symbols for some elements are given like aluminum, argon, barium, boron, bromine. So you can see calcium, carbon, chlorine, cobalt, gold, hydrogen, magnesium, neon. So these are few symbols it is given. So you can practice them. These are the symbols and you can see that first letter is taken and the second letter is taken, somewhere it is Latin name is taken like potassium, K, somewhere only first letter is taken, somewhere it is Latin name. So similarly each and every, you can see each and every element has unique symbol and unique name. So each are having a name and each of the elements are having a chemical symbol. So these unique symbols, these are very helpful for us to remember the elements name or to form the compounds. So don't worry of learning all these symbols at a time. Don't be stressed. Repeated use of these symbols, when you will use repeatedly, then automatically you will be able to produce the symbols. But still you read them and once you practice them, no need of worrying that you have to learn all the symbols at once. So slowly when you will use repeatedly, you will be able to reproduce these symbols. So in the next class we will discuss about the atomic mass.